Hello everybody and welcome to today's vlog. I am back here again at RAF Lindholme, or the former site of RAF Lindholme, where else? And I'm just outside the Northern Radar building, which I'm sure you can see in the background over there, over near where the sun is. So I'm here today, first of all, to say thank you for everybody that recommended the film that I watched the other night called Memphis Belle. It absolutely blew my mind because for years now I've been studying the bomber crews of 305 Squadron here at Lindholme, but I've never ever put the dynamic together of how things would work inside an actual plane. Yes, I've studied the planes and the crews and the missions and the bombing, but have I actually seen it in real life? Absolutely not. No, I've never even seen the planes. I've seen them in the sky, but I've never seen them close up, which is on my list of to-dos for this summer. So seeing the working dynamic, even in movie form, and American a little bit shouty form, I might add, was absolutely wonderful just to see where people were. I know it's a different plane, that was a B-17 and these were Wellingtons here. So it was an absolute eye-opener for me. But then one thing triggered something in my memory at the very end of the film, Memphis Belle. The plane's coming into land and the landing gear hasn't gone down properly at that stage. And something triggered my memory about a plane here at RAF Lindholme. Now, my research friend Rich has this weird mental connection to me, and last week he was down at the Royal Archives in London, and completely without asking, not knowing at all that I was going to be watching Memphis Belle or anything to do with belly landings at airfields, he sent me the details of the plane that I already knew about, but had forgotten which one it was and the one I was trying to find. So today I want to introduce to you another Polish Squadron 305 Wellington W5566. It took off from here at RAF Lindholme, and unfortunately on its way back, after its bombing raid, it didn't have a very successful landing. However, no one died, so that is the big thing. Nobody died in this air incident. The worst injury was 10 broken ribs on one gentleman, which is horrific, and I've had broken ribs being a horse rider, and I wouldn't wish them on my worst enemy. Maybe I would on my worst enemy, but I wouldn't wish it on anybody nice anyway. So here goes. I have got 3 documents that I'm going to go through. I've got the casualty report, I have got a telegram with regards to the incident, and then I've got the full formal write-up as well. So this is Lindholme's Memphis Belle. So starting off with the casualty section. So this says immediate A28 1874 FB, A Wellington W5566, B number 305 Polish Squadron Lindholme, 18th of the 4th 1942. This is important because Lindholme as of yet is still a grass field. There is no perimeter track and there is no runway. That didn't come until July, so this is April, still grass. So 03:25 hours dark, pilot PO 363 FO Wielowski L uninjured, second pilot PO 636 FO Konowski, inquiry injured ribs, navigator PO 09 FL Kiranowski, query fractured ribs. AG 784042 Sergeant Regala Sobiskowski, I am so sorry about my pronunciations, uninjured. AG 783132 Sergeant Stasiak S, uninjured. AG 78066 Sergeant Kozorska, fractured of the left fibula, all Polish members of the Polish Air Force. 780668 Sergeant Kadaustier in Royal Infirmary Doncaster. All other members of the crew are still at Lindholme. F6x2, sorry, I'm going to have to start that again. F 6 times 250, 8 times 250 in send. 1 photo flash night camera type 24 Mark 111 4000 SAA. All bombs dropped in enemy territory. Port engine failed when coming into land. Lack of oil caused complete drop in oil pressure. Cause of failure under investigation. Engine failed caused over choking, overcharging, overshooting, over something, and the aircraft struck a dispersed aircraft Z8519 AIB and completely wrecked category E salvage. Right, so that happened here. So this is the flight path of the old runway, and that there, if you can see by the sunlight, is the old runway. This incident happened east, landing, west, stopping. Over there somewhere in that field there were 2 dispersals, which I'll show you in a photograph. And the plane has come across the field from here, straight the way across. Let me point that in the right direction. So it's come across from that tree line, straight the way down here, straight down the side of the runway, and smacked into another plane just sat there waiting for its mission. So that is a little bit unfortunate. Poor guys on that one. I do want to apologise though wholeheartedly for my pronunciations in Polish of surnames. I'm absolutely shocking. I don't mean any disrespect by it. I haven't actually spoken to any of my Polish friends recently. They normally give me pointers on how to pronounce things correctly, and unfortunately I've not spoken to them in a couple of weeks. So I don't mean any disrespect by the way that I actually say things, and I know I'm saying it incorrectly. The next one is the telegram. So this is, it says KWYNAC DX55 near LND 22-10 immediate. Pass AHP4 CAS GR106. Air Group Oxford MPTD Air Ministry P4 CAS Kingsway. Air Ministry C1 Accident Gloucester HQBC HQ number 1 group, and this is SHQ Lindholme 60 NU from 305 Squadron Lindholme. FB a Wellington Z8519 B number 305 Squadron Lindholme on the 18th of the 4th 1942 03:25 hours, dark, no casualties, not applicable. F no G damaged at dispersal point when struck by aircraft W5566 which was landing after an operational flight. No repeat, no reference signal. A28 18-4. Damage to port, main plane, port Nashel and port Inner Heath. Plane to be inspected. Salvage not, no repeat, no category AC. So I don't think that they were able to salvage it. I think W5566 went smack into it and did a really good job of destroying it, bless it. No wonder the crew were injured, but luckily not very injured. Right, last document. I'm heading back now to the corner where it happened. It doesn't seem appropriate talking about it while walking away, so I'm going to go back. So this is the pilot's report, and this is the crash of Wellington 2 W5566 on the 18th of the 4th 1942 at RAF Lindholme. After crossing the English coast On the way to the target, I noticed that the port engine did not appear to function correctly. Sparks and flames emerged intermittently from the port exhaust pipes, and later the rear gunner reported seeing 3 small balls of fire leave the port engine. That's a bit scary. I decided abandon primary target and attack a nearer one and return immediately to base. After bombing target, the oil pressure on the port engines dropped to 0. I ordered the front gunner to man the hand-operated oil pump. I closed the throttle and put the air crew into course pitch and opened the radiator. The oil temperature was below 80 degrees, coolant 85 degrees. Height to base was maintained at 10,000 feet. Over base, I lowered the undercarriage and 20% flaps and prepared to land. Then at 400 feet and 500 yards from landing ground, I ordered the second pilot to open the flaps fully, but flaps were too slow to respond. At this moment, the front gunner reported seeing a large flame emerge from the port engines. I touched down on the flare path, which was illuminated by floodlight, and as a result of the flaps failing to lower quick enough, the aircraft overshot the aerodrome despite all my efforts to bring it to a standstill and struck another aircraft, Z8519, at its dispersal point. The pilot adds that 20% flaps and undercarriage were working normally. Can you imagine how scary that must have been for the poor gentlemen involved in that? So they've taken off from here. So they will have done the exact opposite route. So the takeoff runway was over there from that corner, straight the way over onto the moors. So they've taken off, they've then headed over in that direction, over to Germany, and then as soon as they've hit mainland Europe, they've noticed that they've got flames coming out of their plane. Now, that's a tricky situation, isn't it? No wonder they decided to dump their bombs and return home. And it's an absolute miracle, from what I hear of these planes anyway, that they flew in, that they made it. But I just wanted to share with you, after everybody was so kind and saying, and you know, to ask me to watch Memphis Belle, that Lindholme here had the very similar incident happen where it was overshot and obviously smacked into another plane. And it must have been a reoccurring theme in so many airfields across the land, especially during World War II. And especially because there was no tarmac back then. These were fields. And knowing what this is, because we're in the middle of the peats, as you can probably see, there's a lot of water. So I'm guessing when this had heavy bombers on it, I'm guessing it was a bit muddy, because there's mud everywhere here. It's peatland. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'll be able to bring you another story next Saturday. We are still working on the body in the bog, trying to identify that. We do have a theory. We do have a name, which is not a name that I'm prepared to say publicly just yet. As I mentioned in one of my videos previously, we were hoping to try and get the answers this week from down at the National Archives. However, what is mentioned in the ORBs for the station where the gentleman took off is very, very different to the formal report of this gentleman, and it looks like there could be a cover-up of something that happened on the plane. Again, it's all theory at the moment, and because of that I'm not mentioning any details at all. We have to put it together, and I won't put any false information out there. These gentlemen were too brave and they deserve better than that. But hopefully soon I'll be able to tell you the full story. Thank you for watching Will MX Kid. If you visit our page, or if you like what we're doing, you can subscribe. It is completely free to be able to do so. If you hit subscribe below, you can also get the bell notification. If you tap on that, it will let you know every time we upload. On a Thursday, we do more about camping and adventures and sometimes from our field as well, and we've been playing with generators as well this last week. But also you can become a member of Willem X Kid, and if you become a member by tapping on the link below, then you do get exclusive content, so you get exclusive shots, and I do upload lives a couple of times a week for people to see as well. Thank you so much for watching. Take care out there. Bye bye. So William, did you like that vlog today?
Yeah.
And what do you do now?